What's up, gang? So recently I made a video on a very slow, super slow, hyper slow muscle up, and I got quite a few questions, right? And some of you asked me to demonstrate a technique on how to get from a pull-up to a muscle up, and I can understand how frustrating it could be to be able to do 10, 15, maybe even 20, maybe even more pull-ups but not be able to do a single muscle up. And in this video I'm going to give you the main requirement, the strategy, and the tactic, the proper technique on how to do not only the muscle up, the standard muscle up, but the slow muscle up as well. And these are kind of different setups and different strategy. I'm gonna give you both. Now, before I demonstrate and before I go into the setup and the technique, I want to disclose that I have not watched anybody else's video on how to do muscle ups. It's all coming from my own transition from pull-up to a muscle up some time ago, a long time ago actually. And what I'm going to share with you are my own discoveries. So before I go into the proper setup of each one of these two, the slow muscle up and the fast muscle up, I'm going to demonstrate them real quick so you know that I know what I'm talking about. So watch me now. The first one is going to be the slow muscle up and the second one will be the fast. There we go. So there you have it. Let's go into the setup. I'll talk about the slow muscle up first because that's very important. They're totally different setups, okay? So the slow muscle up, if you can imagine my arm as being the bar, okay? Picture this. In order to be able to do the slow muscle up, you have to start, I repeat that, you have to start with your wrist on top of the bar. It looks like this. Okay? Your wrist is on top of the bar and your fingers are touching the bar, but not the whole, you don't have a full grip. That's called the false grip in gymnastics, as far as I know. What do I know? I mean, I think it's called the false grip. Anyway, so for the slow muscle up, that's the proper setup. You have to have your wrist on top of the bar before you start. Because see, for both the slow muscle up and the fast muscle up, you're starting with your wrist underneath. And for both, you have to get it on top of the bar in order to complete the muscle up. That's why most people can do a muscle up from a pull-up, because their wrist stays underneath. Okay, so the slow muscle up, because you're going so slow, you have to start with the wrist on top of the bar and then use pure strength. Now I'm going to the fast muscle up, or the normal muscle up, the muscle up that I think that most of you are interested in. It takes power. The setup is just like a pull-up. Your wrist is underneath. But see, at one point you have to get the wrist on top of the bar, right? And your elbow on top of the bar so you can complete it. But to do that, as opposed to the slow muscle up where you use pure strength, in the fast muscle up or the normal muscle up, you're going to use power. And what is power? Power is strength compressed in time. In other words, when you speed up the strength, you get an expression of power. So the setup for the normal muscle up will be wrist underneath, but you're going to explode and throw yourself on top of the bar by first transitioning the wrist and the elbow on top of the bar by using power. It's not going to work with strength, it's going to work with power. Let me demonstrate each one of these two, the slow muscle up and the fast muscle up, one more time so you can see the difference. For both, what I found out that it helps is to lean backwards, just like that, so you can use more than just your bicep and your core muscles, but you can use the back muscles as well. So again, to quickly recap, the setup for the slow versus the fast is different. The setup is, for the slow, is wrist on top of the bar. It's called the false grip. And for the fast muscle up, you're just grabbing the bar as if you're going to do a pull-up. However, for the slow, you're requiring, you are using pure strength. The fast muscle up, you're using power, which is strength compressed in time. That's it, guys. It's a pure technique. It's nothing complicated about it. It's the technique. And that's all you need to know, and the rest is practice. To do the muscle up, the fast one, you gotta practice explosion. You gotta practice expressing your strength as power, okay? That is all. Now, if you have any questions, post them below this video. I'd love to get your questions and answer them. If you like the video, give it the thumbs up, please, because this way more people will find it. Also, if you think that you have a friend who will benefit from watching it, share it right now with your friend or friends or social networks. It'll help a lot of people, and a lot of people and your friends will appreciate it. I love you very much. Force, and see you next time. Bye.